Hello lovely people, welcome to my channel. I'm Barbara and today's topic is, I think, very important nowadays, especially due to the last years of pandemic and what it did to our mental health and how many more people are struggling with anxiety and depression. Because my youngest brother passed away almost 9 years ago because we didn't know that he was struggling with depression. It's very close to my heart to help people as much as I can, and that's one of the reasons actually why I'm making even those videos, that I give you some tips and tricks. What can you do to maybe just lower your struggle and to just have a better, happier life. So maybe you've heard about this technique, maybe you haven't. I'm not a professional, so don't take my advice as some professional advice. I'm just sharing my tips of what can you do when you feel like the anxiety is coming over you. It's good to try this tips or exercise, whatever you want to call it, when you're okay, not when you're in that panic attack or anxiety attack. So first you have to start breathe deeply, really like here, you know, so try to feel that your belly moves when you breathe in and breathe out, and try to breathe in and breathe out many times, at least like 5, 7 to 10 times. Like try really hard. Even if you do 3 is fine, but if you have time, try more deep breaths. And once you feel a little bit better and calmer, then you will do these 5 steps. And it's when we are basically using our senses, our 5 senses that we have. Most of us do, some of us don't, and whichever sense you don't have, just you're gonna skip that one. But if you have all your senses, then you can use that. And the first one, it's 5 things that you can focus or acknowledge, 5 things that surround you. So for example, here I know that there is a bookcase behind me, some chairs and table. There is also a patterned wall behind me, some pictures, and also some flowers. That's already enough objects that I can focus on my attention with my eyes. The second step is 4 things that you can touch. So for example, I can touch the bookcase and I can feel the texture. I can also touch the wall, and again, I feel it has a different texture. I can touch the flowers and they have very different texture again. I can touch this picture that is here. It has, like, you know, some marbles, so I can feel them too. I can even like touch some fabric that I have on me, and that's a very different fabric too. So it's very different feeling and you know, pattern. So that's 4 things that you can touch with your hands basically, or even like if you want to feel it on your cheek, wherever, you know, you feel like it's gonna be the best, just try to do it. You can even touch it with your toes, you know, with your feet, whatever is possible in the moment, do that, okay? The third step, there are 3 things to acknowledge, is what you can hear. So it's your hearing sense. I can hear cars passing by. I can hear also there's a stew boiling on the stove, and I can also hear my neighbor's dog barking. So those are 3 things that I acknowledge with my hearing. I can hear that surround me. The 4th step is 2 things that you can smell. So try to smell whatever you can smell around yourself. Maybe it's the fabric that you have on you, maybe it's the perfume that you used, or maybe a soap that you used, or maybe some cream that you used for your hands. Or I can smell the soup that is boiling on the stove. So those are just 2 things that you can smell, so with your nose. And the last thing, but not least, the 5th one, is 1 thing that you can taste with your mouth. Maybe you just had some coffee, so you can taste the coffee. Just focus on the taste on your tongue and in your mouth. or maybe you brushed your teeth so you can still taste the toothpaste. Whatever it is that you are tasting in the moment, try to acknowledge that and focus on that. So those are the 5 senses we try to alert when we focus, because like once we start shifting our focus, our emotions are changing as well. So whatever you're focusing on, we're basically that grows. So if you see 5 things, if you touch 4 things, if you hear 3 things, if you smell 2 things, and if you taste 1 thing, you are gonna calm down. It's really something that you have to try for yourself, of course, and I definitely recommend you to try it now when you're okay, when you're not having some attack, like some panic attack or some anxiety, because the more you practice this technique and the more you try it again and again, the more likely it is that whenever some strong emotion would be coming over you, you can calm yourself. You can basically stop. It's about stopping, calming, and just try to focus. So it's nothing special, but it helps, and we have our senses with us all the time, so it's something that we can do anywhere we are. We can do it at work, we can do it at school, we can do it like if you don't want to do it in front of other people, you can go to the restrooms. If you don't have to be somewhere and you're at home, of course, like you can just like close yourself in your bedroom or something. As long as you just take deeper breaths and then focus on those 5 different senses that you have, you're gonna calm down and you're gonna feel better. The deep breathing already helps because it lowers the cortisol in your body, which is the stress hormone, and we don't want to spike it even more. There's so many things around us and so much information all the time that kind of like attacks us, and it's very stressful. We can also have kind of like a chronic stress, which is also hard to deal with. So this is a technique that you can come back to and practice over and over again, and I can guarantee to you that it's definitely going to help you. Nevertheless, that you have or don't have panic attacks or anxiety, I'll be happy to hear from you. Please share your comments if you tried this, or if you heard about it maybe before, or this is the first time. If you like those tips, let me know if you will try it. I really recommend that to you to try it. I also hope that maybe you can share this video with somebody that may struggle with depression or anxiety or panic attacks, and it can help them, because as I shared, my brother was not even 15 years old and he was struggling a lot, to the point that we didn't recognize it, and he ended his life. And I really don't want anybody to go through that, because losing someone to such in such a drastic way, it's very, very heartbreaking. It's very difficult to deal with. I mean, any death is difficult to deal with, but this was, I would say, extremely challenging to deal with, especially because he was so young. But unfortunately, he's not an exception. I promised, and it was actually one of his wish that he shared with us in his goodbye letter, that we will tell more people that other people struggle, and especially the LGBT community it's still difficult for them, even though it's getting better. But I don't know if you can call it getting better. Like some countries, it's still a death sentence if they would find out that you're homosexual or, you know, differently oriented. So it's very, very important to me to share as much as I can to help as many people as I can, and that's why I'm trying to reach as many people as I can. So please try to share this video. Hopefully it can help anyone. Even if it helps one person, I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful that you are here. Thank you so much for your time, for watching this video. Please leave a comment or subscribe. You can also give it a thumbs up if you like this video. I'm posting almost every Wednesday, once a week in English, once a week in Czech, and I look forward to see you next time. Have a beautiful day and take care. Bye.